Hey guys, this is Ocean and welcome back to my channel. This is Ocean Tarot. Today we're going to do a collective read here for the new moon in Aquarius, which began on February the 9th. So yes, I am indeed a couple of days behind, but since we're kind of still in that new moon energy phase, I still felt like I needed to get this stuff done. So thanks for bearing with your boy. I'm not trying to make any excuses, but like I have a tendency to kind of procrastinate, and then I had a lot of things going on with work, and I'm just like, and then I was like, well, since I didn't get it completely done, maybe I could just not do it. And then it was still like something knocking on the inside of me, like, no, you need to get it done. So anyways, here we are. So thanks for your patience. So we're going to talk about the new moon in Aquarius, and then we're going to go through some of the other phases for this particular lunar cycle. So as always, I'm gonna go ahead and get the preliminaries out of the way. So if you hear, see anything, that resonates with you, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment. Just turn on the notification buttons, help me out, give me a little encouragement as I'm trying to find my way through this, right? So it's a lot to say, a lot to learn, a lot of growth here. So, let's rock it out together, all right? So, but before we get into all of that, let's get this mood going, right? So I am going to light this, and then we're gonna hit that sound bowl, kind of get that heart rate down a little bit, right? Bring everything into perspective, get everything calm and cool and settled, and then we'll get into our reading. So I've been trying to get myself to be a little bit more organized, and I started taking notes in time to do the video, and then it was like sometimes I can't read my own handwriting, so I was like, it's probably best for me to just put it on the computer, and so that's what I did. So I typed up some notes. I'm going to sit here and kind of talk a little bit about some stuff that I got downloaded through my notes and all of that, and I can kind of stay on track. All right, so let's get into it, fam. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so let's get this out of the way here. So essentially what I'm going to do here is we're going to read an excerpt from the Moonology book that corresponds with each major phase, and then I have some notes that I took down, and we'll just kind of discuss some things. So first what we have is the new moon in Aquarius, and the title of that is Open Up to Change, all right? And so the read for that is, big changes are forecast, but you need to let events unfold with as little steering as possible from you. Sometimes you just need to take a bit of space from a person or a situation. If you know you've been too emotional about someone or something, this card offers you the chance to cool things down. A rational, even slightly aloof assessment of your current circumstances is called for. Allow for things to develop. Try to think of your situation from a different angle. Manifesting focus. This card is an especially good sign for matters related to friends, networks, a wish coming true, science, tech, or online dating. Manifesting mindset. Be yourself. Independence doesn't have to mean loneliness. A group of people rather than one person may be the ones to help you. Your manifestation affirmation is, there's only one me. It's safe to be me and love me. Again, There is only one me. It's safe to be me, and I love me. All right, so I'm gonna show you that card. Hopefully you can see it. I don't know if the light is too bright, but that's the card there. All right. All right, so New Moon in Aquarius, open up to change. Date, February the 9th, element of air. The suit associated with that card is the sword. This is your thoughts, intentions, beliefs, motives, communication, intellect, rationality, discernment, and mind. So when we talk about open up to change, I took some of the more important words that kind of stood out in the titles of the card and kind of got some different words that hopefully might resonate with some of you all. So for open, that meant to be accessible or acceptable, welcoming, be okay with, accommodate, embrace, less restraint. Change was alterations, fluctuations, shifts, revamping, modifications, metamorphosis, transfiguration, conversion. And so in the card, I don't know if you can kind of notice, I'm not sure if this is actually a cherry blossom tree, but when I looked at it, it kind of gave me cherry blossom. But if you kind of see as it goes down this way, it's like it's the same trees, but it looks more like frost or like it could be dew. So that was like some of the other things that I got with this card was cherry blossoms, frost, dew, purple amethyst, rose quartz, selenite, hematite. So I kind of feel like with this card, what it's kind of saying is that, you know, with this being a card of air, dealing with those thoughts and intentions, it's asking you to be a little bit more accessible right now from the heart space and like really welcome change. You know, there's gonna always be fluctuations in life, alterations, shifts, or revamping. So some of us may need to even revamp the way that we think or our belief systems or our motives about certain things, how we approach things, our communication. So we're being asked to really open up our heart space and make ourselves more accessible and acceptable, welcoming to modifications in our life, to changes that we need to make and alterations. Some of you could even be going through some type of, you know, spiritual conversion at this time. And I don't necessarily mean it from like a religious conversion, which that could be true, you know, prove true for some of you, or it could be just as simple as, you know, spiritually you're evolving as a person, you're going through this metamorphosis, right? So you are leaving one place in your life and going to another, and it requires you to not resist the change, but to be open and to welcome it, to embrace it. And I think I missed that word when I was reading those earlier about open. So accommodate, you need to be able to accommodate the alterations that are going on in your life right now. You should be in a place of embracing that as well and being less resistant at this time. So again, those are some of the things that I kind of feel like are going with that. Some of you, your discernment, your mind is going through a shift, it's going through a metamorphosis. You could be going through some type of paradigm shift where you're trying to figure out the things that you need to keep and the things that you need to get rid of. So at this time, as your mind is kind of your thoughts and intentions, your beliefs are changing, they're evolving, you're kind of like scrutinizing, if you will, ways to revamp yourself, ways to shed the old you in order to embrace the new. So I'm not gonna try to stay there too long because that's all of kind of like what I'm getting right there. So then the next card is the first quarter moon in Taurus, and this is release control, and I'm gonna show you that one. All right, so we're gonna read a little bit about that. Let's see, page 56. All right, so first quarter moon in Taurus, release control. What in your life are you trying just a bit too hard to do? What are you absolutely stuck on? to the point where you won't even entertain other ideas. You need to release your grip on life. Whatever you want, release it to the universe and trust that the universe will come back to you with whatever it is for your highest good. If you're feeling possessive about someone or something, your challenge now is to live and let live. In a financial situation, self-worth is the key. Avoid get-rich-quick schemes. Manifesting mix, this card brings in a steadfast energy, but it's chasing with other energy that wants to be free. Doggone, this word in here, I didn't know what this was. CEDE, and I meant to look that up. Control for the best results. You know what? I'm gonna take this time. I'm gonna just type it in here and see what this is, or if it's like a typo or something. Because I was very curious about it when I was reading. Let's see. Oh, okay, so it means give up power or territory. So it is actually a word. Let me see how you pronounce it. Seed. Okay, that's what I thought it was, but I was like, I wasn't quite sure. All right, so the next sentence says seed control for best results. So give up control for best results. Manifesting mindset. Realize that even though you can manifest your life to a great extent, you can't control everything all the time. Karma comes to play, as do your deep down beliefs about yourself. Tune into your manifesting powers. The energies of the root chakra will help you feel safer and more grounded with your basic needs looked after. This chakra is located at the base of the spine and its color is a glowing red. So then it says, hold this card to the base of your spine and imagine yourself bathed in a column of healing red light. Then incant these words. Energies of the first quarter moon in Taurus, thank you for showing me that all my needs are taken care of. All right, so this was the particular card. This was the particular card and the particular read that sparked a thought. Last week on Monday, which was I think like the 5th, I did a journal entry on my Instagram and my TikTok. And so essentially in that read, I think it was the Page of Swords, the Two of Pentacles came out and the Hangman in the reverse. And it kind of reminded me about this releasing control, because I think one of the definitions on one of the cards for the Hangman in the reverse was, it was talking about like essentially being so headstrong that you refuse to see any other type of perspective, which kind of dealt with that obsessiveness. So I wanted to make note of that because I wanted to share that with you guys from my journal entry, and then we'll continue on with this. So it said, as the Page of Swords, we are being asked to take interest in our personal affairs with the Two of Pentacles. Perhaps we are perpetuating negative patterns and ideals represented by the Hangman reverse. If our lives seem topsy-turvy with the Two of Pentacles, patience is needed with the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is ruled by the Sun and root chakra. So interestingly enough, the root chakra is present in this first quarter moon in Taurus. Let's see, where was we at? So the Page of Swords is ruled by the Sun and root chakra. In our conscious mind, we have the information to make sound decisions. With the Two of Pentacles being ruled by Jupiter and the third eye chakra, we see what's needed, or at least see the necessity of equilibrium for growth. However, twos can represent choices. Perhaps we see the need for adaptability, but choose to remain detached from our intuition, with Neptune ruling the Hangman reverse. So yeah, that really resonated with me, and I was like, it really kind of confirmed for me that what came out in the journal entry and also what came out for this first quarter moon in Taurus during this lunar cycle, like it was kind of syncing together. So with the first quarter moon in Taurus, release control. The date for that is the 16th of February, element of earth. The suit is the pinnacle. This is all about tangibility, materialized assets, wealth, health, um, value, health, wealth, practicalities, opportunities, things that are solid, things that we can taste, touch, and feel, right? So the subject is all about release control. So for release, it talked about that word seed. Release, deliver, surrender, hand over, let go, give or give up, offer or offer up. I wanted to check and see too. When I see that word offer up, it gives me very much like Page of Pentacles, and I wanted to see if that was a card of Taurus or Taurian energy. Here it is. No, it's not. It's Scorpio. Anyhow. All right, so that answers that question on that. So control is your dominance, your care, stubbornness, self-will, inflexibility, anal retentive, obsessiveness. This is associated with the root chakra, grounded, humility, selenite, rainbow fluorite, crystal towers. There was something about the number 3 or 3 birds, sunrise, which interestingly enough, in this card, there's like a sunrise and then there's sunrise behind me. Survival, basic needs, getting back to the basics. So in this, we're being asked to whatever our dominant areas are, like wherever we seem to be more dominant or self-willed or inflexible or stubborn or kind of obsessive, as the reading was saying, like we're being asked to deliver that. So sometimes we have to surrender our right to be right. So the areas of our lives where we feel like we have to be dominant all the time and so stern and so assertive, sometimes it's best to offer that up. So it kind of gives it to me like, if you look at this card up close, you see this person kind of sitting in a field, and being grounded and really releasing control here. You know, sometimes I feel like, you know, with the root chakra, it was talking about basic needs and survival and getting back to the basics is something that I feel like that we're being called to do as well. Sometimes we have to revamp, as, you know, the new moon in Aquarius open up to change was talking about. When we're revamping ourselves, sometimes we have to get back to the basics because sometimes we overcomplicate life, right? And so sometimes when we want to start over, it's good to just get back to ground level. Like, what are my basic necessities? What are the things that I really need? What's driving me here? How do I basically become like a minimalist? So by releasing control, we're literally like becoming like a minimalist in some type of sense because we're getting rid of the things that we don't need. Sometimes we have a tendency to clutter our lives. So by releasing control, you know, releasing the parts of us that are inflexible, the things that we are so anal and gung-ho about and obsessive about, it actually allows us to be more on the receiving end when we get rid of something. So in order to receive, sometimes we have to release. All right, so that was first quarter moon in Taurus, release control. So next we have full moon in Scorpio. This is breathe through the tension. All right, so this is on page 94. All right, full moon in Scorpio, breathe through the tension. There's a strong sexual energy around you now. The good news is that sexual energy is very creative. After all, it leads to an act that creates humans. A tense situation could be about to boil over, so go carefully. Time spent outdoors will help you to calm your emotions as well as increasing your general well-being. You need to find a balance between your emotions and your sensual side. Don't deny this part of you. Use the energy to create what you want. Which I think I'm gonna pause right there and say that is so true, because it's like, you know, we can have these very pent up sexual energies and urges and stuff. And so it's like, well, what do I do? You know, I gotta do this and I gotta release and I gotta do that. And that's fine. There is a time and a space for that. But if you are in a season to where that is something that is not possible, whether it's because of your own constraints or restraints, or whether it's just that the spirit is telling you right now, like, this is, some of you could be celibate, and this is like a time in the season where you're not participating in sexual activities. What do you do with those urges? You know, for those who live very traditional lives and you believe in marriage, and you try, or maybe you're a virgin and you're not gonna have sex before marriage, or maybe you've already been through all that and you're just trying to approach, you know, this next relationship in a different space, and maybe you don't want to put sex at the forefront. So it's like, what do I do when I have those urges? And I'm finding for myself is that take that energy, and instead of allowing yourself to be sexually frustrated, why not take that energy and put it into your creative endeavors to really show yourself, like, from a very sacral energy, like, I can create something that's very sacred or sacral to me, right? So whether that's like getting into your creative projects, whatever that may be, you know, so that's a great way to utilize that energy. So manifesting balance, balance your ability to caress with your need to be caressed. That's so good. Manifesting mindset. When we're emotionally overheated, we end up focusing on what we don't want rather than on what we do want. Bear this in mind now. Breathe. Your manifestation affirmation is sexual energy fires me up in a good way and helps me express my creativity too. Again, sexual energy fires me up in a good way and helps me express my creativity too. All right. So this is that card, because I'm not sure if I'll let y'all see it at first. All right. So full moon in Scorpio, breathe through the tension. Date, February 24th. The element is water. The suit is cup. This is about capacity, measure, spirit, soul, emotions, relationships, fluid, flow. And I also got the word participate, because on a relationship kind of standpoint, like it requires us to kind of participate in some shape, form, or fashion. Breathe through the tension. So breathe was the cyclic inspire and expire. So the respiratory system of taking in air, expelling air, inspire, expire, inspiration, expiration. And this is the continuous cycle. I got the word huff, exist, spirit, pace. So it's very important that you pace yourself at this time. The word through, from beginning to end, from one side to another, in the midst, in the thick of, and the intention was pressure, stress, annoyances, tightness, irritation, persecution. Now, the interesting thing about the word persecution is that I think sometimes we use that word out of context. Like, we use it as like, oh, well, like people are talking about me, so I'm being persecuted. But I want you to understand that the spirit behind persecution is not just people talking about you, because that's just can be people's opinions. But persecution goes to a different level. It's where, like, for instance, if you are making a decision that you are going to follow a particular path, like being more spiritual, right? Which just means that you're gonna give more attention to what your inner man needs. You're evolving as a person. You're, trying to learn how to be more accountable, and you're trying to be open, to change, and you're trying to release control from situations. Like, maybe these are some of your toxic traits. Maybe you're, a control freak. So spiritually, you're trying to evolve. You're trying to get rid of those things. And so what happens is when you are embarking up on something new, there's always the thought, because it could be self-persecution or it could be persecution coming from outward, right? So it could be very intrinsic or extrinsic. The spirit behind persecution is to draw you off the path. It is to discourage you in such a way to where you go back. So it's all about, like, if you've been in this cycle, a way of doing things, and all of a sudden you begin to break free and you're doing something else and you're on your journey and on your path, the persecution comes where it wants to challenge you to the point where it makes you doubt that you're on the right track. and therefore to detour you and get you off to only keep you trapped and in that same negative thought pattern and process, right? So I think what we're being asked here is to breathe. So in order to go through what's very tense in your life, you may literally have to huff. And you may have to huff your way through some things because it may not feel good. When something is very tense, like, it doesn't feel good. It's not, you don't just necessarily receive tension. It's like, oh my God, I'm just so happy to be tense. It's very uncomfortable. So sometimes you may have to huff your way through it. You may just simply some days just have to exist, just be, right, in the moment. I put down spirit because spirit is air, spirit is breath. But also too, I think it's important to remember that when you're going through tough situations, that sometimes you just have to have spirit. You have to have excitement. You've got to have liveliness in the midst of the irritation, in the midst of the annoyances, in the midst of the circumstances that are tight and when you feel pressure. Because essentially, you're going through, right? You're going through from the beginning to end. So it's encouraging you to breathe, have spirit, to pace yourself, have a life cadence, have a spiritual cadence. Pace yourself from beginning to end, whatever the situation is. When you find yourself in temptation or whatever it is, breathe your way through it from beginning to end. If you have to huff, do that. Sigh, get it out, right? From one side to another, in the midst of, in the thick of, even when it's the most heaviest, remember to breathe. Allow for inspiration. And then when inspiration comes in, expire. Expire is a type of releasing. All right, so with this one, I got selenite, red jasper, clay, canyon, rivers, specifically more so spring water, plants for your home, work environment, swimming, scorpions, dig burrows. So in this picture here, we see the scorpion who digs, and then we also see the water here. And so kind of what I was getting with the swimming is that when we swim as humans, we have to, control our breath underwater because we're not made to survive under there. But understand that when we go into the water, when we dive into a tense situation, we go in head first and we have to breathe until we come up for air. So when we go through the water from the beginning to the end, there has to be a cadence of breathing, of expiration, inspiration, and so forth and so forth. So when we are in the midst of our most darkest, toughest times, remember, huff your way through, and don't feel guilty about having to huff. I know it's kind of like frowned upon, but I feel like when you do that, like, it's kind of like a spiritual exercise, right? Because you're just circulating air. All right, last but not least, before we get ready to get into some cards here, we have last quarter moon in Sagittarius. Practice gratitude. All right, so let's go to page 122. All right, so we got last quarter moon in Sagittarius, practice gratitude. The good news is that even though you have some issues that need tackling, there's nothing that you can't manage. More good news is that the best way for you to clear the air and reach a breakthrough right now so you can get your life to go the way you wish to is to have a good old-fashioned laugh. It's all too easy to take life too seriously. This card urges you to take a lighter approach to life if you want to manifest your dreams. Manifesting mix, it's great to be earnest, but there's a time and a place. Don't entertain superficial feelings, as these are no better than fake ones. Manifesting mindset, being open to life will make you open to manifesting. Get in touch with your mystical side and have fun with it. Your manifestation affirmation is, life loves me and I love life. Again, your manifestation affirmation is, life loves me and I love life. All right, so I'm gonna show you that card. Hopefully you can see that. All right. Last quarter moon Sagittarius, practice gratitude, date March the 3rd, element fire, suit is wand, which is action, movement, motivation, passion, endeavors, energy, potential, budding. And I guess my earpiece is trying to go out. So practice, rehearse, ritual. This is something done in private in preparation for public. Exercise, train, habitual, repetition. Gratitude is goodwill, appreciation, gratefulness, thankfulness. All right, so what we're being called here is to practice gratitude. So sometimes we may not know, or we may not have been raised on how to be grateful, right? So this is telling us that we have the power to choose to practice and implement gratitude, and that we should actually seek opportunities every chance we get to exemplify gratitude. So practice gratitude is letting us know that, like, we have to rehearse it. It has to kind of like become ritual. We have to purposely and intentionally even put ourselves in positions to show gratitude. One of the things that I liked about this too was about the word practice was about done in private in preparation for public. So it's like what you do in your private sector will show up in your public life. So when you are grateful and you practice gratitude in your privacy, right, whether it's through your meditations or through your prayer life or whatever it is that you do, when you exemplify a practice and preparation of gratitude in public, people will see that in private. When you do that in private, people will see that in public. Also, what you will notice about yourself is that when you do it in private, it becomes easier to do it in public, right? So in order to, you have to exercise the energy of gratitude. You have to train yourself for gratitude. It has to be something that's habitual and something that requires repetition, just like when you go to the gym and you're exercising a muscle because you're trying to build up on that muscle, but you have to tear it in order for it to be repaired and to rebuild and regain. So it's kind of like the same thing with gratitude. It's like, you know, we have to stack a little weight on it, right? And maybe those tense situations like time under tension, the weight, the pressures, these things are helping us to build a stronger physique or spiritual physique when it comes to practicing gratitude, right? Goodwill, appreciation, gratefulness, and thankfulness. So maybe even just start your day out with just like, hey, I'm appreciative that I woke up this morning, right? I'm appreciative that I have breath in my body. Maybe, you know, I know some people struggle with allergies and it's like, it's tough to breathe, and that can be a lot of tense breathing. That could be significant for somebody as well. Asthma, you could be dealing with that. And maybe putting green plants and things in an environment or even a humidifier might even help release the tension with your breathing. But it's like with the breathing, you may not have clear breathing as you want to, right? You may suffer from sinuses, but at least you have breath, right? So even though it may not be as clear as you want it to be, still find a way to even be grateful for the fact that you even have breath and spirit running through your body, right? So some of the things I got for that was selenite, tiger's eye, trajectory, and aim, because this is all about Sagittarius, right? So that should be the aim, that should be the trajectory, that should be the focus, is to rehearse and let it become ritual for you to find ways to implement goodwill, appreciation, gratefulness, and thankfulness. All right, so that was that on that. So now let's get into some cards to clarify and see what's going on. So I hope that my earpiece going in and out isn't affecting the quality of the sound in the video. All right, what are the messages for the collective? What do they need to know for this particular moon cycle, this lunar cycle? And as always, let's keep the energy on the table. Please. please, and thank you. Alright, that wasn't a good one. Let's do one more. Alright. New moon in Aquarius, open up to change. All right, so first card out is the Knight of Cups. Scorpio energy, moon here. This is all about creative expression. So some of you could, it's talking about being open to change. This is romantic proposals. This is offers. This is invitations, taking action, creative expression. So some of you could need to be a little bit more open right now to the change in your life as it opposes to your creative expression, like how you are presenting yourself creatively speaking. And creativity came up with the release and control with the root chakra. This could be like your ideal woman or your ideal man. This is a young person full of new ideas and proposals. So this is all about moving something forward. So a proposal could literally be something with love, or it could literally just be proposing an idea. So that kind of does line up with it being open. So like you need to be open to this new proposal, this new direction that life wants to take you. So then we have the Moon card in the reverse. So you're releasing fears, unveiling secrets, subsiding anxiety, truth, regaining composure, and self-deception here. So being open up to change, you're gonna have to, in order for you to accept these proposals, you're going to have to be open because you're releasing fears. So in order for you to release fears, you're gonna have to open up to change, to what's unfamiliar. Because the Moon card in the upright is all about things that we don't see, things that are hidden in our subconscious. So being open up to change. So next we have the Ten of Pentacles, unexpected financial windfall, lump sum of money, trust funds. This deals with our inheritance, our legacies. So for some of you, there could be changes going on, with unexpected, because something unexpected is an alteration, it's a change. So something could be changing in some of you guys' financial state, or even with your home or family life. This is about building loyalty, longevity, friendships, relationships, loyalty. So someone could be trying to propose a romantic gesture to you, and it's going to require you to release some fears with the Moon card in the reverse. And this could be something that's very unexpected. Maybe somebody's coming in with a proposal because they want to build something with you. But in order for you to be receptive of that, like, you're going to have to be open up. You're going to have to be, accepting and welcoming and embrace the changes that are coming in your life. So this could be literally some of you all who could be single right now, and you could be moving more into a family dynamic, or someone has an idea that they want to propose to you about that, of something that they want to move forward. But again, in order for you to get into that Ten of Pentacles, it's going to require you now to be open to life's changes, right? Because maybe it's not coming in the way that you wanted it to. Maybe you wanted a King of Cups or a Queen of Cups, but this Knight of Cups is what's coming in. Because in order for you to build to get to this Ten of Pentacles, you have to start somewhere. You may have to start on level 1 and build your way up to level 10. So this light proposal comes in with the Knight of Cups, very young, very fresh, and it's proposing something, wanting you to take a fresh chance, a leap of faith. Take a chance with this. and see where it goes. But in order for you to do that proposal, there may be some fears that you need to release that are associated with that in order for you to gain access to this 10 of Pentacles. So that's kind of what I'm getting right there. So we're gonna move on to first quarter moon in Taurus, release control. All right, we got the King of Wands here. So being in charge, decisiveness, independence, loyalty, optimism, impulsiveness, unexpected income, someone who inspires others to create an achievement or creative achievement. So there's a lot of creativity that's coming out in these cards. So for a lot of you, this could be about what you're creating, whether it's actual human life or whether this is projects, endeavors. The interesting thing about this is that with the creativity, it's very much like, even though a lot of this is root chakra, it's also, the creativity is sacral energy as well. So with the fire here, that's fiery energy, it's very interesting that the King of Wands is showing up because, you know, that is fire. So there's a lot of energy, a lot of movement here. So releasing control. So this card is all about being in charge. And I'm kind of getting to, in a weird kind of way, that sometimes when we release our control, it actually helps us to be more in charge, if that makes sense. I don't know if it's making sense or not. So there could be like a way that, you know, God or Spirit wants you to go, but you need to release your own control off of a situation. And when you do that, it actually puts you in a place to where you are in charge. Or for some of you, because the wands could be leadership role, if this is about creative endeavors, like when you release your dominance in an area, because maybe you're being very stubborn with Taurus here, maybe this is what makes you, ends up transforming you into a great leader, is your ability to release your own personal control. And you're setting that example for others. So for the people who work for you, with you, or under you, when you release control, like you're literally showing them by example, which is putting you in a position of leadership, because you're leading by example. It's not just do as I say, and then you do something else, but you're actually doing the work. You're letting the work for you, and other people see that, and you inspire them. All right, so we got the four of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So there's a need to rest. And this is talking about your mental load. So releasing your control, it could be affecting some of you guys' mental health as well. And so by you releasing control, like the Four of Swords is also about meditation. The way the person is always laying down, in a restful position in this particular card, sometimes this could be like a death as well. And it's like, if you don't learn how to release control, you can become so stern and so stressed out that you could literally like almost kill yourself if you don't learn how to calm down. So that might be resonant for somebody. So somebody needs to calm down, because you are so gung-ho and so like such a control freak, and everything has to be your way. Like it's literally affecting you mentally. So it's like, this is your call with the Four of Swords to take a rest. Like you need to chill out. And we have the Queen of Swords here, a person who thought dominates feelings. They have keen insight, great judgment, right decision. Now is the time to stand up for yourself and to clear and be clear about your wants and your needs, right? So it's like release control. Let it be known what you need. So going back to the basics, when you release control, get back to the basics, letting it be known to God, to the universe, what you have need of, your necessities. This person in this energy with the Queen of Swords, like this person knows what they need. They know that they have a basic need for water. They know that they have a basic need for shelter. So it's like you're offering up your control and getting rid of, like, so this could also too be about having faith in the divine as well. So it's like releasing your control. This is Aquarius energy too, with the Queen of Swords here. Knowing what it is that you need, being very analytical, being very strategic, and knowing what you need. So rest is key here. So maybe some of you could be in a leadership position and it could have you so stressed out that you need to, or you could be fearful even about being a leader. So maybe you kind of feel like inadequate about it, but it's like, take the rest that you need, get yourself back into a state of stasis, and then you can probably approach things now from a very analytical point of view. You'll be a little bit more level-headed with the Queen of Swords here when you lose control. So there's a lot of clarity that comes in for you. All right, breathe through the tension. Doggone, it's a lot of sword energy, a lot of air here. So the first card came out is the Nine of Swords. So some of you right now could be very fearful, very filled with anxiety. This can also be guilt, something that antagonizes you, something that, you know, keeps you up at night. This is why you need to breathe through the tension, because for this card to be showing up, it's like you need to breathe, because something has you so stressed out. You're focusing so hard on something. I mean, you could be the subject of gossip right now, you know, and it could be very tense for you. You could be also, when this card shows up, it's usually too because of some type of guilt. So whatever it is that you feel guilty about, you still need to breathe through this, right? There's no sense in letting something get to you so bad that you just feel overwhelmed. Because it was talking about, because overwhelmed is like, it's that tension, it's that pressure that we were talking about. The persecution. So if you are the subject of gossip right now, that could be where that persecution is coming from. What else for breathe through the tension? So some of you could also be at your breaking point. And so again, this is a reminder to breathe. If you feel like you're at that point, it's time to breathe. Take in some fresh air. Inspire, expire. Some of you even maybe need to count to 10. What are the messages? Breathe through the tension. All right, don't be stubborn now. Come on up out of here. Breathe through the tension. Full moon. What else? There we go. Dog. See, there goes that hangman in reverse again. Discontent. Apathy, disinterest, stagnation. So when you're in this energy of like being up at night and feel like you're being haunted with the Nine of Swords here, it's got you, this is a negative pattern for you. Or some of you could also, when you get into this energy, because the hangman in the reverse is impulsiveness, you know, if you have an inability to cope or face life with the Nine of Swords, like it could be causing you to do things, say things that are very impulsive. And that could be what you feel guilty about. That could be what the persecution is all about. Maybe you said something or you did something that was very impulsive, and now, you know, it's got you feel some type of way. But still, like I said, you got to breathe and huff and puff your way through to get to the other side. Because this came out in the energy for, this was the card that came out on the 5th in that journal entry that was for the week of the new moon, of the 9th. Yeah, so the energy is still there. Next, we got the 7 of, excuse me, the 7 of Swords here. Making a break for it. This is about deceit, lies, trickery, cheating, theft, underhandedness, being dishonest. So are you being dishonest with yourself right now? right? Have you been doing things, risky behaviors, right? Are you masquerading, or is someone masquerading around you? It's like all this sword energy here, all about these intents and these motives. So that could be catching up with somebody too. So some of you could be like in a state of depression or feel some type of way because of some decisions that you made. But still, even though you may have made those decisions, you still have to breathe through what the tension is. Because sometimes too, the Seven of Swords has a negative connotation, you know, for the things that I just read, but also too on the light side, it could be, you know, strategies. But because of the other cards that are around here, I don't really feel like this is about strategy. I think this is just about something being dishonest and, you know, deceptive. And it could be like some self-deception. And maybe it's like you think that nobody knows, you know, that what you're going through, or you know that you're up at night and up in your head and you're feeling depressed and you feel guilty about stuff, but somebody knows. People see you. They can tell. It's written on your countenance. This is why you're being, you know, encouraged to breathe through what's tense for you right now. Because I'm getting like, you know, if you just breathe through what's tense right now, and you at least acknowledge the fact that you show some type of remorse and you're trying to learn from that and you're trying to fix the situation. See, that was that breathing through in the midst of, from beginning to end. So at some point, you know, you're gonna be on the good side of things, even if you feel like you're on the bad side right now. So right now, until you get to the other side, you just gonna have to learn how to breathe through it and take it like a man, take it like a woman. Last quarter moon in Sagittarius, practice gratitude. Let's get a couple cards for that. All right, so we got truth here with the King of Swords. This is structure, this is routine. Remember I talked about that earlier about practicing, you know, get into a routine, right? This is about rational, logical, power, authority, strength, conversation, discerning, making head over heart decisions. So even though sometimes it might not be in your heart to do certain things or say certain things, but you have to make a head over heart decision. I'm making a choice over how I feel to practice gratitude. And that's just the truth of the matter. Next on that is Three of Wands. This is foresight. This is expectation. This is self-confidence. This is self-belief. Did that come up too? No, it didn't. I think I'm overlapping my thoughts with something else. So practice gratitude. This is all about planning for the future, moving forward with self-confidence, success, and freedom. Hard work is paying off, experiencing life. So it's like by you practicing and making a head over heart decision that I'm going to practice being gratitude, that's the aim, that's my projection, you know, it's something to look forward to, like a bright future. You're moving abroad. Like, I feel like when you also, if you are experiencing, because, okay, if we go back over here with this full moon card, this hangman in the reverse is also talking about stagnation. So if some of you are in an energy of stagnation and can't seem to understand why things aren't moving in your life, yes, you do need to breathe through the tension and you need to work that out. But also too, when you begin to practice gratitude, whatever blocks that are in your way, like, will be moved with this Three of Wands, because this is expectation, this is moving forward, this is looking toward the future, this is success. This is you waiting on ships to come in. This is not that's not a stagnant energy. All right, last card, and I was gonna say that earlier when I was talking about this situation over here, being on the bad side of karma. This whole situation over here with this Scorpio energy over here, this is all karmic energy, life lessons, right? So if you've done something or said something that was out of whack, it could be the reason why you're stagnant and you think people don't see you or people can't tell, but people know, they can read. And I was gonna say, you know, while you're waiting on karma. Like you could be on the bottom right now, but you need to breathe through to get to the other side. And so until you're on the good side of things. So then we get over here with this, and the Wheel of Fortune comes out. So this is your destiny, this is good luck, this is chance, this is karma, good karma. This is all about cycles. This is all about, you know, your fortune here. So it's like this is being on the good side of things, on the upright side here. So, you know, this energy looks good. When you practice gratitude, things seem to work out in your favor. It's kind of like what I'm getting. You can be optimistic and have foresight with the 3 of Wands. So it's like by you making a head over heart decision and intentionally practicing gratitude, it's giving you the foresight to see and to wait and giving you the patience for what you're expecting for. This is all about your expectations, because this is putting you on the good side of karma. And I'm also kind of getting like when you practice gratitude, it's like a magnet. It's like it's gonna draw the things that you need towards you. So it's like when you go up here to the first quarter moon, you release control and you have this root chakra here. This is all about getting back to the basic and your basic needs. Like you don't have to worry about that. As long as you are doing the work, you have the foresight, what's needed for you will be given to you. It'll gravitate towards you. So it's like that's your fortune, that's your chance, that's your destiny. You know, to some people that's good luck, you know, or karma. Because it's like karma is all about your intentions. What you put out is what you get in return. So it's like clear this out over here, breathe through this tension, implement, rehearse gratitude, and things are gonna work out for you. So that's all I have for today. So I hope something in these messages spoke to you, blessed you in some type of way. This is Ocean. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications. I'm gonna try to keep these videos coming to you. So I thank y'all for y'all patience. We got it done. Until next time, love y'all. Good morning, and we're out.